Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really getting into something core, I think. How do we find that kind of deep calm, that inner peace, a happiness that doesn't just vanish when things get tough, something solid?
Yeah, something rooted deep down, right?
Yeah.
Unshakable.
Exactly. And our source material for this is, well, it's quite special. It comes from a recent conversation, really candid, with two teachers I deeply respect, Fra Paisal Vizalo and a Jarn Pramwan Pengchan. It happened at Swan Mock, Bangkok. Not a formal lecture, more like an intimate chat, full of real wisdom for, well, navigating life today.
Sounds fascinating.
It really was. So our mission here is to pull out those key ideas for living a life that cultivates that lasting contentment, even when things inevitably go sideways, building resilience from the inside.
And just to be clear, this isn't about, slapping a happy sticker on things. No quick fixes. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how you see things, how you approach life itself. If you're looking for maybe an aha moment, a new way to look at your world, well, I think this might be it.
So what kicked this all off in the source material? The speaker, the person reflecting on this, is nearing 47. And that age, it makes you think, doesn't it, about time running out.
Definitely, that sense of urgency.
Right. So they asked the teachers this really direct question. How can I live this life without wasting it? What really matters and what just distracts us?
Wow, that's a heavy question. But one we probably all ask ourselves at some point.
Totally. And the core teaming that came back, shared by Fro Paisal Visalo.
From Buddhadasa Bhikkhu's wisdom.
Exactly. It sounds so simple at first. Live a life that is calm, cool, and beneficial.
Calm, cool, and beneficial. Simple words, but deep. It means finding strength within the storms, not just try to be happy despite them. It's a whole different approach than just chasing highs, right?
Absolutely. And that brings us to happiness itself. We often think of it as bright colors, loud laughter, big moments, yeah.
The exciting stuff, the peaks.
Yeah. And the speaker admits that's what they chased when they were younger, that kind of bubbly, immediate joy. But hearing this teaching now, with more life under their belt, it paints a different picture.
A quieter happiness, more serene.
Exactly. Enduring. Doesn't need constant outside fuel. Just being at peace, no matter the noise.
And that really ties into how life has these different dimensions, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The teachers brought up two key pairs, or dualities. First, there's the concrete versus the abstract.
Right.
The concrete, that's everything hitting our five senses. Beautiful views, nice music, tasty food, good weather. Stuff that gives immediate pleasure or displeasure. Easy to point to.
Tangible things, right?
But then there's the abstracts. This is deeper. Feelings, qualities you can't touch. Like the source mentions walking into an old church in Georgia and feeling sacredness, even if it's plain inside.
I know that feeling.
Or that unspoken connection with someone, or just that deep peace you get from being in nature. The speaker realized, looking back, they focused so much on the concrete because it was just easier to define, easier to chase.
That makes sense. Sensory stuff is immediate, isn't it? It's right there.
Yeah.
But that deeper feeling, that quiet contentment, that takes more cultivation, more attention.
Exactly. Which leads to the second pair, the material versus the spiritual.
Right. Possessions versus inner qualities.
Precisely. The material, it's the brand names, the fancy car, the latest phone, the things we often use to define ourselves. The source mentions thinking, I'm cool because I wear this. We all do that to some extent, probably.
Oh, for sure. I remember wanting specific trainers back in the day, thinking they were everything.
Yeah. And the spiritual side. That's the inner stuff. Peace, love, wisdom, real contentment. Not stuff you buy. And here's the tricky part. Trying to max out both is really hard. Often, focusing hard on one means the other takes a back seat.
Yeah, you can't chase external validation and deep inner peace with the same intensity, usually. It reminds me of the monks in the source material, the ones begging for food. They just accept whatever's given, all mixed in their bowl. The food, the material thing isn't the point. It's just fuel. That's serious detachment.
It really is. It cuts through our usual preferences and desires.
And then there's Ajarn Pramun Pengchan. Always in old clothes, never accepting gifts or money. The speaker tried, offered money, shoes, but he just gently refused. His contentment clearly isn't tied to having things.
It's a powerful example, and for you listening, it raises that question. When we chase material wealth really hard, even if we get rich in things, do we sometimes feel that spiritual lack, that emptiness?
That hollowness, yeah. Having everything but still feeling like something's missing. the paradox.
So how do we actually cultivate this inner peace, this calm and cool?
Well, the source is clear. It's not about adding more. It's about being content with what is.
Which sounds easy, but
Oh, yeah.
it's tough, right? Like being okay with that mixed up food in the monk's bowl. Life gives us a mix, good and bad.
Exactly. Accepting the whole messy plate.
And the key insight is this comes from training the mind. Or maybe cultivating the mind is a better word.
Right.
Your job, your family, the world news, that stuff might not change, but your perception of it, that can transform completely. It's like you start living in a different world just by changing your inner lens. That's the real homework, the source calls it.
I love that idea. And it makes you a spiritual traveler.
Explain that a bit more.
Well, imagine you're, say, sitting in traffic. Externally, you're stuck, annoyed maybe, but internally, you can also be observing that annoyance, watching it rise and fall. That's the inner journey happening right there.
Ah, so you're living on two levels simultaneously.
Yes, your body's in the car, but your mind's also exploring its own landscape, anger, patience, whatever comes up. That inner reality is just as real.
And this journey requires faith, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That came up strongly from Ajahn Brahmo Panchen.
It did, but not blind faith. He called it correct faith, meaning a deep, solid belief that this inner peace, this real happiness is actually possible. It's attainable.
He even brought in a Christian teaching, interestingly.
Yeah. Faith is believing in what you cannot see, and the reward of faith is seeing what you believe.
Powerful.
It makes it very practical, I think. If you genuinely don't believe you can be calmer or find peace,
You won't even try. Why bother?
right, you'll just say, oh, I'm just an angry person. But if you believe it's possible, even if you're really struggling now, you'll start. You'll set a new
You
course.
start walking that path.
And you need perseverance. Oh, that story Fra Pazel shared. Incredible.
The Korean vegetable vendor.
Yes. This woman, she needed to drive for her family's business, but she kept failing the test.
How many times?
Over 700 attempts initially. She finally passed on try number 900 something.
900. That's unbelievable dedication.
Driven purely by wanting to help her family. And it makes you stop and think, what do we put that kind of effort into? Our 700 or 900 attempts?
Is it all for the material stuff, money, status?
Yeah.
Or is some of that energy going towards inner growth?
It really puts things in perspective, doesn't it?
It does. And sometimes, worldly success doesn't actually help spiritual growth.
How so?
Well, success can puff up the ego, make us arrogant, think we're totally in control.
Right, I've seen that happen.
But failure, sometimes worldly failure can deepen us spiritually. It teaches humility, shows us life isn't entirely in our hands. It can bring us closer to, reality.
So a setback can actually be a step forward internally.
Paradoxically, yes. Which brings us back to calm, cool, and beneficial.
Okay.
The Course says once you cultivate that inner calm and cool, being beneficial just happens.
Yeah.
It's not like a separate task you add on.
How does that work?
Well, a calm person, just by being calm, radiates something positive.
Right.
Like a big tree giving shade. It's beneficial just by being there.
Ah, I see. Their presence itself is helpful.
Exactly. And because they're less needy, less grasping from others, they create a feeling of safety, of trust. So helping others, being compassionate, it flows naturally. It becomes their joy, not a chore.
Like Ajahn Brahman again, not taking things. His non-grasping was the benefit, the teaching.
Perfectly put. And this connects to another idea from the Source, from Luang Korkam Kien, being an opportunist of life. Okay, that sounds potentially bad. Opportunist.
Huh. No, not in a negative way. It's a practice for meditators. It means seeing every life event, especially those 8 worldly conditions.
Gain and loss, praise and blame, pleasure and pain.
Nerd.
Those exact ones. Seeing them all as opportunities, chances to work with the mind, reduce the ego, accept what is.
So if you lose your job, okay, that's tough, but it's also an opportunity to practice letting go of security, maybe?
Precisely. Or if someone criticizes you, an opportunity to look at your attachment to reputation to practice humility.
Wow. So everything becomes practice material, turning the nails into flowers, as the Source puts it?
Yes. Or the bullets into shining stars. It's all about transforming your inner view, because without that spiritual dimension, life just feels like a constant battle, right?
Like walking on thorns, dodging bullets. Yeah, constant suffering. The world feels unlivable.
But with this inner work, you change the experience.
Does this mean we should try to, rush our spiritual progress, get there faster?
Good question. Ajahn Brahmo had a great analogy for this, the footballer.
Okay.
He said, focus on playing the full 90 minutes. Focus on the ball right here, right now. Don't obsess over winning or losing the game. Winning involves so many factors beyond your control. Just play your best now.
So in spiritual terms, focus on the practice itself, the present moment awareness.
Exactly. Not on some far-off goal like enlightenment. Just do the work today.
And Fromm also echoed that, didn't he? He said it's not about speed, but about priorities.
Right. Prioritizing it correctly. Giving it consistent time, daily. Even if nobody else sees the progress, you feel it internally. It's a quiet, deep shift.
And that's the real transformation. The world outside might look the same.
But your inner state turns it into a small heaven.
Yeah.
That's why you can see people in the exact same difficult situation.
And one is freaking out and the other seems okay, at peace even.
Because they're living in two worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And the calmer inner world changes everything about how they experience the outer one.
So boiling it all down, we're all living in these two worlds, aren't we? The visible external one and that invisible internal one.
Always. Mind and spirit.
And cultivating that inner world, making it calm and cool, that's how we become truly beneficial.
That's by being. It radiates out, no extra effort needed.
You know, that initial hook the source mentioned, being happier than 99% of others, it's catchy, it's attention.
Sure. Clickbaity, maybe?
Yeah, but after diving into this wisdom, the real aspiration shifts, doesn't it?
How so?
It's not about being in the happy 1% while others suffer. It becomes wanting that peace, that calm for everyone, for the whole minute, 100%.
That's a beautiful expansion. From self-focus to a universal wish. That's the real fruit of the practice.
It feels like it. So maybe the thing to reflect on is, which world are we prioritizing, and how can we, gently start nurturing that inner journey day by day?
Turning those everyday moments into opportunities.
Yeah. Turning the nails into flowers. A journey worth taking, for sure.